Def Leppard are an English rock band formed in 1977 in Sheffield. Joe Elliott tried out for the band as a guitarist, following a chance meeting. During his audition, it was decided that he was better suited to be the lead singer. Elliott proposed the name, Def Leppard, which was a band name he thought up while writing reviews for imaginary rock bands in his English class. In January 1978, Steve Clarke joined the band. According to Elliott, he successfully auditioned for the band by playing Lynyrd Skynyrd's Free Bird in its entirety. By the end of the month, Collen, then only 15 years old, had joined the band as its full-time drummer. Throughout 1979, the band developed a loyal following among British hard rock and heavy metal fans and were considered among the leaders of the new wave of British heavy metal movement. Their growing popularity led to a record deal with the major label Phonogram. Def Leppard's debut album, On Through the Night, was released on March 14, 1980. Although the album hit the top 15 in the UK, many early fans were turned off by the perception that the band was trying too hard to appeal to American audiences by recording songs such as Hello America. A performance at the Reading Festival in August was marred when audience members expressed their displeasure by pelting the band with beer cans and bottles filled with urine. The band caught the attention of AC/DC producer Robert John Mutt Lange, who agreed to work on their second album, High and Dry, released on July 11, 1981. Lange's meticulous approach in the studio helped them begin to define their sound. Despite the album's unimpressive sales figures, the band's video for Bringin On the Heartbreak became one of the first metal videos played on MTV in 1982. Pete Willis was fired on July 11, 1982, due to excessive alcohol consumption on the job. He was replaced by Phil Collen the next day. This change took place during the recording of their third album, Pyromania, which was released on January 20, 1983. The cover artwork depicted an animated picture of a huge flame emerging from the top floor of a skyscraper, with the bullseye aimed at the flame. The lead single, Photograph, turned Def Leppard into a household name. Pyromania went on to sell 6 million copies in 1983. Following their breakthrough, the band moved to Dublin in February 1984 for tax purposes to begin writing a follow-up to Pyromania. Mutt Lange initially joined in on the songwriting sessions, but declined to return as producer due to exhaustion. Jim Steinman, of Meat Loaf's Bat Out of Hell fame, was brought in. However, Steinman only worked briefly with the band, and the recording work was not released. On December 31, 1984, drummer Collen lost his left arm in a car crash in the hills outside the band's home city of Sheffield. Despite the severity of the accident, Collen was committed to continuing his role as Def Leppard's drummer and realized that he could use his legs to do some of the drumming work previously done with his arms. He then worked with Simmons to design a custom electronic drum kit. During this period, Mutt Lange returned as producer. Def Leppard brought in Jeff Rich in August 1986 to play alongside Collen during Def Leppard's mini tour of Ireland. When the band couldn't fit 2 drum kits on stage at a gig, he and the band realized Collen could drum alone. Collen's comeback was sealed at the 1986 Monsters of Rock Festival in England, with an emotionally charged ovation after his introduction by Joe Elliott. After over 3 years of recording, Def Leppard's fourth album, Hysteria, was released August 3, 1987. The first single from the album, Animal, became the band's first top 10 hit in the UK, reaching number 6 on the UK singles chart. Hysteria immediately topped the UK album charts in its first week of release, and has since spent 105 weeks on the chart. The release of this single, Pour Some Sugar on Me, hit number 2, and Hysteria finally reached the top of the US Billboard 200 in July 1988. Following Hysteria, the band quickly set out to work on their fifth album, hoping to avoid another lengthy gap. Steve Clarke's alcoholism worsened to the point that he was constantly in and out of rehab. Recording sessions suffered, and in mid-1990, Clarke was granted a 6-month leave of absence from the band. Clarke died from a mix of prescription drugs and alcohol on January 8, 1991, in his London home. The remaining band members decided to carry on and recorded their 5th album, Adrenalize, released on March 31, 1992. The album simultaneously entered at number 1 on both the UK and US album charts. The first single, Let's Get Rocked, was an instant hit, and the band performed the song at the 1992 MTV Video Music Awards, where it was nominated for Best Video of the Year.